Hello everybody, my name is Notepad and on and I write games for fun. So what are we doing tonight? Well, tonight we are going to be working more on Just My Life here. Eat the Path. Eat the Path, a role-playing game about being space commandos. Well, sort of. You're more cybernetic death machines, but that doesn't sound as fun to say now, does it? Last time, we talked about random shit for like an hour and a half, then we actually started writing down how the game works. I did a little bit of work ahead of time because I'm me, and I was like, I've been struck by the inspiration bug. Anytime the inspiration bug occurs, hello, Cleo. Goodbye, Cleo. Cleo, I'm streaming. Australian woman, why must you stream when I'm streaming? I'm the important one here. Though the beautiful thing is that technically, since this is Off-Kai Expo weekend, a lot of people are getting hyped for that. But yes, I decided to do this as literally the lore entry. Quite literally, this is Cimmeril. This is the Cimmeril at the deep of the deep colony ship Eternity. Pretty much, you are CySec, cybernetic security, and this is pretty much how the lore section is going to look. This is all that's going to be there. Most likely, we'll put an image like right there. But this is all I'm going to be working with because I don't want to give too much because I'm going to try to invoke some of that the terminal aesthetic, if that makes sense, behind the Pathfinder. No! See, I don't even like Pathfinder. I think that's the funny part. I'm trying to be positive anytime we play Pathfinder, but it's very difficult because it's like, oh boy, Pathfinder, I'm having so much fun. It's like, oh boy. Oh jeez. It's like, oh boy, I sure do love fucking Pathfinder. Second edition. Anyway, besides me not wanting to see the ads, yes, nobody likes ads. But every time you watch ads, I get paid nothing, really. So yes, watch all the ads. What is this? I missed the first stream. This is Eat the Path. This is going to be my Pocket Quest game. As you can kind of see, this Eat the Path, a role-playing game about space. Because Pocket Quest this year is quite literally the theme of fucking space. That's the theme. Space. It's not anything. Space is such a it ends at the first of July. So this is literally giving me 2 weeks to do this, but I don't plan on this being a very long game. Yes, Pathfinder 1E was effectively the you can call Pathfinder 1E 3.75. That's something you can say with pretty distinct confidence. Pathfinder 2E is doing its own thing. It clearly knows what it wants to do. It's just stupid, and I disliked it. Yes, I did finish Scholar Maleficarum in a 4-hour mega stream. Just fucking finished it on my birthday, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I did it. It's gone, and I never have to think of Scholar Maleficarum again until I inevitably go back and redux the entire thing. Yeah, the goal is this Sunday I'm going to actually do a maintenance stream, which means it's literally just going to be a few hours of me just doing maintenance. It ain't going to be fun, it ain't going to be interesting. It's just, it was a calm that one. No, Scholar Maleficarum was not a commission. That was kind of a personal project. It was just such a weird project that it was just kind of a nightmare juice. You can argue that Eat the Path here is kind of a palate cleanser. As the entire idea is, I can't believe it's not marathon. And since I can't believe it's not marathon, I can be a little bit silly with it. Let's see. What the PF2 thing? Stupid amount of options. The thing in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I'm gonna show you all Pathfinder 2nd Edition in a nutshell. What's poppin'? Not much is poppin', really. Oh god, let's hit the wrong button. I just started a few minutes ago. We're kind of getting everything set up. Marathon, it was giga silly. To give you an idea, this is Archives of Nethys 2nd Edition. This is just basic, like, how you, like, all the rules technically for Pathfinder are right here. Now, let's just take, for example, we'll do one of the common races. Let's say an elf. Now, here's the thing you have to remember about elves. This is incorrect. You have to go to the elf heritages, which there are many different kinds of elves. And now, you can also go to elf feats. Elf feats are technically different than elf heritages, because you can say that elf heritage is like a basic feat. Well, elf feats are different. Now, mind you, these feats count for something completely different. Yeah, you can get it. These are ancestry feats. Because, let's say, for example, I want to play a cleric, because that's what I'm playing. I'm playing a cleric. This is your level up thing for a fucking cleric. Because you get all of your things. You get your cleric feat and a skill feat. Very different. You get a general feat, which isn't a skill feat, but it is a skill feat. But isn't at the same time, but not a cleric feat. Cleric skill feat. Hey, don't forget about all of these things, including don't forget about your ancestry feats, don't forget about these kind of feats. But all of your class feats can also be used to pick up different things, which give you different bonuses and different ideas. And it's like, wow, I'm having a fucking stroke. And just to give you the idea of, like, the number of fucking feats, like, there are literal hundreds of them. There are 3,985 fucking feats. You can't get all of them, mind you, because some of them are very tied to very certain things. But, let's say, for example, let's just load everything. Load all 3,900. I made a mistake doing that. We're going to close out of that right now. Feats. We want feats. Let's say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get our... I want very certain skill feats just for diplomacy feats. All 28 diplomacy feats. Oh boy, I sure do love getting the one for all, feat, which with precisely the right words of encouragement, you bolster an ally's effort. Designated ally within 30 feet. The action counts as preparation for aid of that ally. And you may be wondering, what's aid? Well, aid, of course, has its own series of actions, which is a reaction. Oh, make sure that you get all of your successes and critical successes for a +1 bonus. Let's see. What's poppin'? Marathon should come back or whatever Bungie's doing now. I hate Destiny. I hate Destiny. I hate Destiny. Thing is, the third one, Marathon Infinite. Marathon Infinite? Is it Marathon Infinity? Yeah, Marathon Infinity. To give you an idea, it's not time travel, it's timelines. This is, I remember, this is the simple explanation of the timeline right here. There are multiple timelines that all kind of go together. This isn't even correct, by the way. This is its own very distinct fuckwit of nightmares. Yeah, there's a lot of Marathon. Let's see. Are all of the heritages in the main book? Not all of them. Some of them are in different books. Some of them are spread across different books in different places. You pretty much just have the core ones. Yeah. Yep, sounds exactly what... Yep, yeah, autistic character can be fun, but the Lord in heaven, I'm not ready for all that to create a playable character. Infinity. Yeah, it's... The thing is with... How do I want to... The thing is with Pathfinder, 2nd edition anyway. To me, it's frustrating to me because it's like, for every option I choose, it feels like I'm... How do I want to word this? It feels like for every option I choose, I'm taking the worst possible option. Like, there is so much fucking opportunity cost in that game that it feels like every single thing you do is wrong. So you need to go look at the guide. So you need to go look at the build. So you need to go look at here. You need to go look at here. You need to go look at here. And you gotta check everything. Because if you don't check everything, it feels like you're doing wrong. Like, God, let me see class, like, give you an idea of, like, all the fucking classes. These are all of the classes. And all of them have different feats, different things, different problems. And it's like, oh, well, you can't just play a fighter. No, there's a fighter and 17 other things. It's like, oh, here's a magus, which is different from a mage, which is different from another thing, which is different from another thing. It's like, I am losing my fucking mind. It's like, wow, this is awful. Like, and this isn't even dealing with like, oh boy, time for fucking companions. It's like, ah! It's like, it's great. Yeah, each of them have subpaths. Because the thing is, they're not subpaths. Because every single level, you have multiple feats. You have multiple feats per level in each class. So it's not even like, oh, you get one thing. No, it's like you get multiple things. God help you if you get one of the traits or heritages or whatever, where you can get multiple and you're just adding more options on top of each other. And again, no option feels like the optimal the optimal path. Like, the thing I love having optional of tables, shit, having to choose and all that, but when you get too much to choose from, you just fry your brain because you are more afraid of making wrong decisions that are every combination. So many are bad suboptimal ones. Yeah, it's not like most of Pathfinder 2nd edition to me feels like it's opportunity cost. For those who don't know what opportunity cost is pretty much the cost you don't make. If you have the option of going to get a sandwich versus going to get pizza, what the opportunity cost is, I won't get a sandwich or I won't get a pizza. Very easy, but it's like, okay, how much did I spend here? What's the time I didn't do this? What's the time I didn't do that? What if I did this? What if I did that? And it's just like every single thing you do, it feels like a wasted opportunity, or like I could have been more optimal here. I could have done better here. I could have done this. And it's like, my friends love it though. Here's like the issue that I'm having, like that just kind of pains me, is my friends are having fun. Because they are playing a mage, champion, and thaumaturge. And they're having a lot of fun playing it. I'm playing a cleric because they're like, we don't have any healing. We need healing. And I'm like, I'll play a cleric because we're going to do healing. And it's like, wow, this sucks. Because it's like, one of the big things you can argue about Pathfinder 2nd edition is, oh, you have 3 actions. You are GMing? No, I'm playing Pathfinder 2nd edition. My friend's GMing it. Like, the thing with me that's like interesting, because it's like they say, oh, you have 3 actions. You don't have 3 actions. They are lying to you. They are fucking lying to you. And any single creature on this beautiful earth of ours tells you, oh, it has 3 whole actions. No, it doesn't have 3 actions. Because 95% of the fucking spells cost 2 actions to do. And like pretty much after the first attack, your chance to hit drops super hard. Like, some of these attacks are like 20% less, 25% less. So unless you already have an insane bonus, it's like, oh, I've lost like, oh, you have an 18 AC and I lost my +6 because I now have this and +1. I'm like, that you're never gonna hit. So like anything after the first hit you don't want to do. On top of this, they have the stupid fucking meta currency, which is used for nothing except rerolls. Not even like bonus rerolls, just rerolls and saving your ass from death. That's all they're used for. And it's infuriating. Yeah, fucking shut up, Manly. Like, yeah, like the 3... It is... Again, I'm having fun because I'm with my friends. On the other hand, I am losing my fucking mind because it's like... Wow, I sure do love rolling a d20 constantly and rolling like a 3 and just failing repeatedly because you can't... What are you gonna do outside just fail? Like, oh, I'm a trained super physician. No, you're fucking not, because you rolled a 2. It's like, fuck. It's like, God fucking damn it. Like, damn it, Janet. And it's very, every single thing you do always feels like the wrong thing, and that's very annoying to me. Okay, so the Path tabletop role-playing game about being a cyborg, about being cyborg security aboard the colony ship Eternity. Has been taken over by something, and Psysec. Psysec must reach Terminus Command to regain control of the ship. Psysec is composed of 1 to 5 cyborgs, with Cimmeril, the Eternity's AI, narrating events, setting challenges, and identifying enemies when battle breaks out. Each of the cyborgs will need 6-sided dice, d6, preferably 5 or more, but Psysec encourages cooperation in the face of annihilation. As Cimmeril cannot directly influence events, they will never roll die. The cyborgs are the only ones who will and can. Anyone who will and can. Whenever a cyborg attempts an action, chance of failure, they will perform a check. They'll take a number of d6s equal to their... And that's kind of the extent of where I got. Most likely I will... Yeah, one of the... Actually, we'll keep it 10. What would you do to fix Pathfinder? Well, here's the... I think the issue... I think there's a place for 3.5 stuff, but the thing is, it's like... To me, personally, you don't need, like, 80% of the feats. You don't need them. But they add them because they need them, because that's the only way to really encourage advancement, because you got to assume people are going to go to level 20. You could, honest to fucking God, make that game go to level, like, 10. And be fine. You can end, like, that's... I think that's kind of just an issue with how the game and 3.5 is built and designed. It is... Every single thing you do must be opportunity cost worthy, because that's how Ivory Tower is. Ivory Tower demands you do that. You need to always be guessing. You always got to be trying to optimize. You always got to be like, okay, how do I get the most out of this to do this? And honestly, there was a game that actually fixed a lot of 3.5's problems. There was a very, very important game, and that was Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition. Yes, 4th edition. And I will always say this, 4th edition was every single thing that 3.5 was broken in, and fixed every single thing. That's the funny thing. It fixed every single thing 3.5 and its ilk have troubles with. The problem with 4th edition is that, 1, the math was wrong, and 2, the guy actually being able to help you design characters easier murdered his wife and then killed himself. You know, that does somewhat taint the legacy of a product. And that's something you always have to just bring up when you talk about 4th. Yeah. Because the problem, Jacko, is like that. Every single discussion about 4E, I'm like, well, 4E is so great, why didn't it do well? It can always be traced back to the lead guy doing a... Well, Fear got him. What occurred was, there was a guy, can't remember his name, you can find him if you want. There was a guy whose effective job it was to create, for lack of a better word, the first online character sheet. I know the proto VTT even, mind you, this is back in like 2008. That was his job, and he wrote spaghetti code effectively, and he created probably, like, again, the first one to really make sure that 4th edition did its job very easily, because making characters in 4th edition was both very complicated and just time consuming. But he was the only one to do it. He was also not all there. There were some things wrong with him. Eventually, what occurred was he snapped, killed his wife, and killed himself. And no one could decipher his code. Now, mind you, that thing was a big feature of 4th edition. That was kind of like the big hype, like one of the big hype pieces. I thought the main problem with, like, the thing is, one of the, like, people who complain about, like, it's too board gamey, it's too MMO, like, those are the people who were, like, 3.5 apologists. Because they wanted their overpowered builds, because it was really difficult to fuck up making a 4E character. Truth be told, it was really fucking hard to fuck up making a character. It was very balanced. And that's not a bad thing. Because the problem is that there was really no bad option in 4E. Eventually there were, but they had to introduce more shit, and anytime you introduce like a billion powers, there's gonna be some option that is better than others. The thing was, hey, how do we eliminate, class imbalance? How do we fix marshals not doing as much in the 3.5 era? Because, truth be told, wizards were better marshals than marshals in 3.5, and in turn Pathfinder, simply due to the magic and buffs. What occurred there was, like, oh, we'll give everybody power, we'll give everyone this. I would say the main 3 issues with 4E was, 1, you kind of touched on it a little bit, is that they went a little bit far in how people played 3.5. Because you gotta remember, every single discussion, every single person who really cared about 3.5 and wanted to advance it, that would be 3rd edition. Like, you gotta remember, like a vast majority of conversation around 3rd edition was not, well, here's this amazing role-playing game I'm playing with my friends. Oh, here's the adventures we go on. Oh, here's this. No, it was, how do I optimize my build? Here's how you make the best kind of combat character. Here's the, the feat paths you're supposed to do. And, like, if you really looked at, like, kind of the people talking about it, that's what people talked about. It was encounter design, it was fights, it was how to build the best character, and it was, like, how do we avoid making bad characters, mostly because of Monty Cook's Ivory Tower design. And 4E did away with a lot with that. The issue was 4E doing away with all that and focused almost everything on... 4E focused every single thing solely on combat encounters. Because every single person who talked about 3.5 talked about combat encounters. And so it's like, okay, you kind of perverted the design there a little bit, where it's like, people just play for combat, so we have to build the entire game around combat. And if you go into an assumption like that, I'll explain Ivory Tower in a bit. I think the second major issue was that the math was wrong. The math was really bad in that first, I think the first the first iteration of the book, it was bad. numbers were way higher than they should be. Enemies were very spongy. And that kind of made things not great. You could tweak it down, of course, but it made certain encounters wonkier because it was like, oh, well, this enemy is XCR because he has 8 Gherillian health, even though he does no damage. Well, we reduce the damage, and suddenly he is a lot weaker, and his CR is still high, so you fuck up encounter design, it gets messy. They fixed that later on. They fixed it a lot later on, but kind of too little too late. I think the third major issue with I think the third major issue with 4th edition was that it felt very gamey to people. And I think that anytime you hear a lot of conversation around 4th edition, you hear people say, oh, it's gamey, it's video gamey, it's, you know, it's like, oh, I don't like this, it's too gamey. It's like, oh, I don't like powers, I don't like that. And it's like, you do like, this is exactly what you've been asking for, and this is the way they chose to implement it. If you want to, like, honest to God, if I could go back in time, and, you know, kick down Wizard's door, I would stop him from killing himself. But what I would do is say, do not call this fucking 4th edition, call this D&D Strike. If they didn't call it 4th edition, honest to God, we would still be talking about 4th edition. We would still be talking about, quote, 4th edition, end quote. People would still be arguing, you should just play D&D Strike 2nd edition. You should just play D&D Strike 3rd edition or whatever. That's kind of the idea. Because it is a different game. It's a different beast. And because it's a different game and a different beast, yeah, I remind you, there all was a D&D war game base of 4. Exactly. And I think that was the thing that... It's kind of the same way I say Fallout 4 is every single thing good about Fallout New Vegas. If you look at Fallout 4, and if you take every single thing on it, Fallout 4 is every single thing good about New Vegas. You guys like factions, right? Well, we have 4 fully written factions, but they're really badly written. Well, there's 4 of them, though, because you guys said you want more factions, so we added 4 new factions. Well, we added a bigger map. Well, there's nothing in the map, really, but you said you wanted a bigger map, so we gave you a bigger map. It was every single thing they wanted, but done not great. What up? We're just talking 3.5 and Fallout 4 now, apparently. Because it's like, oh, well, we want better combat system. Fallout 4 does have a superior combat system than Fallout New Vegas. Not a single soul will tell you otherwise. It's a lot more responsive, it's a lot better, because Fallout New Vegas was kind of bad in that regard. It's like, well... this is like the big thing too, Manlin. When you think about it, if you approach players and say, hey, what do you like about New Vegas? Well, I like it how you can use speech checks for everything, but speech is really overpowered. And then they look at you, and then you can see the light bulb above Todd's head. Well, since you liked speech options so much, but you also don't want speech being overpowered, let's just gut speech. Well, everything will be voice acted this time. It'll be great. And you look at them being like, no, stupid. That's the complete wrong way of doing that. It's like, oh, you don't want to be locked out of certain perks because you don't want to, get locked out of certain perks or do the wrong build. So it's like, oh. And it's like, oh, well, marathon-inspired game. Oh, yeah, very marathon-inspired. But, like, one of the big ideas was with, like, Fallout 4's progression system is every single thing you do in Fallout 4's progression system, you clearly know what you're getting, you know how to do it, and you will never be locked out of anything unless you don't meet a stat requirement. But you can always get your stats up. Because that's what you want. Marathon the battle, marathon the video game series, Lubu. If you've ever, have you ever heard of a small game called Halo? Halo was originally supposed to be inside of the Marathon universe, and they talk about it a lot, actually. Yeah, to a degree, Fallout 4 was the 4E of Fallout. Yes, you joke, but yes, it is every single thing people wanted done poorly. And Solid asked earlier, what is Ivory Tower design? Ivory Tower design can really be summarized as you are rewarded. You, the player, is rewarded. Let me stretch, let me bring out, oh god, that's not how my back is supposed to sound. You, the player, are rewarded for playing the game correctly. And you look at it, you're like, well, no shit. That's pretty obvious, okay? And it's like, well, there's a difference here, though. Ow, I stretched my back in a weird area. The idea of Ivory Tower can really be summarized as, well, we will add in, let's say you have 3 options. Option A gives you +1 to attack. Option B gives you +2 to attack, but you take a -2 to attack in other certain situations. And option 3 gives you a +7 to attack. Well, no shit, you're going to take the +7 to attack. That's just the better option. But that, what they want you to do is that they're going to give you a lot of different options, some of which are wrong. They will purposely make bad options and few good ones. Yes, because they want to reward system mastery, because they actually noticed this in Magic the Gathering, where effectively people enjoyed the game more when they were able to optimize and find ideal combinations, which is one of the reasons why you see, there's a reason why like Black Lotus is like, there's a reason like why Black Lotus is an insanely valued card. Black Lotus is really valuable because you can tap it and get free mana. That's what it's not real. You look at it, you're like, well, it's not that big, but the ability for someone to tap to get free mana, sacrifice, not just tap. Oh, of course. But it's like, yeah, getting a Black Lotus turn 1 pretty much means your tempo was way far ahead than everybody else's, and you could win. So the value of Black Lotus shot up in the price, and people were rewarded for that. People wanted to buy more things. Yeah, you notice this anytime like Magic discussion shows up, where they will say about, well, here's the stupid combos, this set or whatever. That's what they're talking about. That's Ivory Tower, because there's going to be cards in every set of Magic that's just dog shit. Oh boy, a 2/2. What are we going to do with a 2/2 that costs 3? Nothing. We're going to do fucking nothing with it. Oh hey, here's a 1/1 with 1 that costs 1. But this 1/1, if paired with another one, comes up to a 4/4, and suddenly gets first strike on every single thing, and suddenly gets a gigantic, bonus. But only if you buy the $80 super card here under these very specific very specific things. Getting a lot of Magic problem money can be attributed to eternal formats and scalpers. Yeah, because that's why they actually put in the different formats. Because people, you gotta remember, Manly, the formats have not always been in style. There used to be, you had the cards you do. The formats were not permanent. Like, Paupers are relatively new, but that's using only commons. But fun fact, ever since Wizards kind of made Pauper official, common cards have actually gone up in value quite a bit. I'm a silver player. Go to hell, Spartan. But yeah, formats were a thing even if they weren't recognized really. But the thing is, it was Wizards acknowledged them and drove up prices. That's why you had the that's why you actually had the new Lord of the Rings set be it's a commander set. And because it's a commander set, it's like, yeah, you know, my computer screen decided to pixelate. Oh no, sisters. Oh no. Yeah, it's literally because Wizards has decided that that's how they want to, you know, get money. Yeah, because they want to rinse people for fucking money. That's the thing. That's why people were so fucking pissed about the super boxes they brought out, like 40th anniversary or something they brought out not too long ago, relatively speaking. And because they did that, it completely, yeah. Scalp, make money. Plap, scalp. Yeah, literally it's plap, you know, make money. Because that's how you fucking make money. Because you gotta remember, Magic gets Wizards gets a cut from all of those sales, you know? Like, they've actively said, like, we support the secondary market, because if we don't support the secondary market, they lose out on a lot of money. Buy our $500 collector, but yeah, now they're printing pure fuck commander cards in normal news sets. Yeah, because they damn well know Commander makes a shit ton of money. Like, Commander makes a lot of money for them because Commander deck, like, I wonder how much is like a good Commander deck going for. Let's see. Yeah, so a basic 5 out of 6 out of 10 power level Commander deck, $150 or less. It could cost you thousands to climb up to the really good card. I remember distinctly, I had a guy in college who was very proud of his like $350 like Commander deck. He's like, this isn't even my main deck, man. And he showed me like, he said like his main deck was like 3K of just assorted Commander cards. I'm like, why would you spend that much money on fucking plastic? Holy shit. Like, holy fuck, why would you just burn down Wizard Coast and Hasbro at this point? Honestly, the fucking the proxy guys have started going up in price too. Like, that's the funny thing. Okay, so let's see. Whenever a cyborg attempts an action with a chance of failure. This is one of the questions I was having. What should we call actual checks? What should we call attributes? Because attributes doesn't seem correct. Let's see. They will take a number of d6 equal to their connection rating. That doesn't sound right. Now, attributes, connections, skills, because these are our attributes, effectively. Despair, rage, envy, hope, meta, cyber, waves. Do you have a printer? Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are too busy being autistic to do anything productive like that. Like, not lying. Every Yu-Gi-Oh player I've actually encountered is fucking retarded. Like subhuman level IQ. But the millisecond you bring like a synchro deck in front of them, Giga Brain. Don't know how it happens. Like, they will do the stupidest shit, but then they, like, bring out, like, yes, let me synchro summon, and it's, like, 5 minutes of them playing every card in their deck. It's like, I've won. How? Well, if we look on turn 2, it's like, what the fuck are you on about? I've played one card, man. Being like, don't worry, I've synchro summoned my entire deck and the, Exodia, the god card. It's like, fuck you. Fuck you. Isn't Yu-Gi-Oh like a massive ban list? It keeps getting big. Yeah, because they keep printing cards that are like 8 gorillion power level because of the show or some promotion. Printing myself would be cheaper, but yes, I don't have the space to set up a printer. Like, I could technically set up a printer, but I don't want to buy a printer because I'm cheap. I'm fucking cheap. You got me, everybody. I was super sad about myself because we have like a table outside. Like, the thing is, like, you can get a printer pretty cheap, like relatively speaking, pretty cheap. The problem is the ink. The ink is gonna be the thing that kills you. And like, that's the issue right there. It's the ink. Like the ink is the thing that fucking murks you price-wise. It's like, yeah, here's some ink, it's $40. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm referring to 3D printers? Fuck me, fuck that. I ain't dealing with that shit. 3D printers are scary. 3D printers scare the shit out of me. That thing is too big for me. I'm a fucking idiot. Who the fuck 3D prints a card? Based people, that's who's Sterner. Yeah, I do know a few people who are like really into the 3D printing thing. You know what I'm gonna do? I didn't talk about this last time, and because I'm still debating on whether or not what to call these, I'm gonna tell you what a dear friend of mine, my boy Kenshi, or Shitashi here. You may see Shitashi here. There's a very special person now. Good old fucking Manly knows Kenshi. Now, I'm trying to like tactically do this. He linked me this. This is Arabellica. Since we're talking about 3D printers. Arabellica is a war game actually by another VTuber, as you can kind of see here. It's if you can tell, she's a 40k war game VTuber from Indonesia. So Southeast Asia, Chad's okay, that's a cock. Like that's just a cock. Yeah, she likes BattleTech. She likes painting minis. She's also a massive fucking pervert. Like, that's a, like, not gonna lie, massive fucking pervert. She does a lot of BattleTech stuff, and her big thing is BattleTech 28. That's what she's been writing. Because I love BattleTech. I'm like going down slightly, getting ready to just quickly jerk back. Okay, nope. Okay, we're just like trying to like look through here a little bit. She does a lot of porn, by the way. Very important. She does a lot of porn. Interestingly enough, she's writing. Let me properly put this in the context here. She is writing quote this game, Arabellica. Arabellica does not actually have any rules. They just have They just have models, and oh jeez, oh Jesus. Okay, fucking let me just select that real fast. Someone buy a manly there we go. There, hello Square Notepad. Yes, hello Square Notepad. Okay. Yeah, all they do is, oh Jesus, it's everywhere. It's nothing but porn. It's nothing but porn, everybody. Yeah, so, rest assured, they already bought me. How bad, you imbecile. Oh, they did buy you. Here, let me just sub out everything. Let me just make comically oversized manly. There we go. As you can, thank you, manly, for tactically blocking all of the boobs. Yes. As you walk in the shadow of death. Yes. They write Arabellica. All the things they do are just fucking horny models. That's all it is. And like, even you can kind of see, there's still a cock in the corner there. There's still a cock in the corner. But yeah, this is like a vast majority of what they do with this. And I'm like, you can kind of, I'm doing a concerted effort to block everything. Here, let's, okay, they want me to log in. But yes, they, You talking about 3D printers reminded me of that. Yeah, I found this. They don't actually have rules, though. Yeah. Like, that's the very funny part. They actually have no... God damn it, Remy. Why do you follow... Remy follows a bunch of VTubers, and he's notorious. Yeah, Remy Down Under. He's notorious for following. That's a lot of penis on screen. He plays a lot with VTubers. He's very big into all of that. Here's the thing is, like, Remy's a merchant, by the way. I want everyone to remember that. Remy was actually a merchant for a very long time. He's Aussie. I don't think he's in the BGM. Yeah. That's actually, I remember encountering Remy in the fucking Merchants Guild. And I'm like, holy shit, it's Remy Down Under. And then I called him a faggot. Because he had a dog shit take. Merchant for Seth, one of Seth's patrons. He actually was, yeah, because he had a dog shit opinion on, it was like, some fucking game. I'm like, you're wrong, shut up. And he always got, and after the split occurred, he bailed. I remember that. He hasn't joined the BGM, he hasn't joined anything like that. Yeah, no, I'm pretty, I try not to be forward, but sometimes I call people very nasty words in the Merchants Guild. Good, yeah, he wanted to avoid that. It was after that happened. I don't even know if he is still in things. As for... Like, the thing is, I like Remy's content. Don't get me wrong. I like Remy. The issue with Remy is that half his videos are him screaming, and the other half of his videos are like, hey everyone, I'm based, and I'm a zoomer, hell yeah, gamers, and it's just like, please shut up. Like, just play the fucking game. Don't tell me how cool it is or whatever. Like, just shut up. Remy is very YouTube. Yeah, it's like, I liked his older stuff personally. When he was a little bit more subdued, if that makes... I still like his Arma video. Don't get me wrong, I still like his Arma stuff. But even then, his Arma stuff is kind of like happened to Maxor. Like, I like Max. Here's the thing, I like Maxor. The problem is Maxor decided to change all his fucking videos into seizure-inducing nightmares, which I can't watch. I watched one fucking, like, Maxwell video, and I felt like I was having an epileptic fit. It was like, I am in physical pain. I do not want to watch anything more. Even though I know he puts a shit ton of work into it, just isn't my jam. Very Zoomer humor. Then I remember the tomboy phase for Remy, where it's like every single thing was just him screaming, I'm like, shut up. Please, fucking God. Like, again, I'm trying to be a nice person here. Like, I'm a tomboy appreciator myself. But Jesus fucking Christ, my brother. Why are VTubers so fucking horny? Because it sells, yeah, right there. The thing is, VTubers, if you do GFE, girlfriend experience, girlfriend experience people get a shit ton of views, they get a lot of donations, and being horny usually gives you more clicks, if that makes sense. You get a lot of clicks, you get a lot of leverage, and people really like content. People give you money if you post lewd shit. That's how it goes. Notepad servers arguably an MG splinter. Arguably, yes. I wouldn't call it a true splinter, but you get the same vibe at points. I don't like to call it TG adjacent, but yeah. So it's an actual chance of failing. The performer check take a number of D. See, I would literally call it vibes if I could. If I would call it vibes if I could, but it would be take a number of D6. It will take a number of D6 equal to their rating, and roll them all for every even. Every odd number is a failure. Even number rolling a 6 is a critical. Adding plus 2 adding 2 successes. 2 successes while rolling a 1 is misery. Reduces successes by 1. The cyborgs want to reach the target number in successes for a check. If they succeed, if they roll equal or greater than the TN, they are successful and bypass the threat. If they roll less than the TN, they will suffer consequences. They will suffer consequences for their failure. Okay, so remember we only have 7 pages really to work with. So if we want to do this right, take it like we can do something like this. And then Oh, the misery. Insert table 2x2. Yes, we have very few pages to really work with, and I'm okay with that. So we want to do, let's see, simple, seven. These names aren't final, but they'll do for now. Yes, I sec. Misery. I've got a lot to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're at 3 pages right now. We've got 4 pages to work with. So what do we need to add here to... Don't act a lot of service people I support. Ow, Spartan. Ow, you hurt me. I'm big in my own way. What are the stats called again? Like, what word are they? Oh, give me back. The stats are, if we scroll down here, despair, rage, envy, hope, meta, cyber, and waves. For lack of a better way, understanding, pushing limits, enduring your limits, pure, like, literal mental stability, dealing with the meat world, dealing with technical world, and fucking around with aliens. Because remember, don't make waves. Or maybe you should make waves. Yeah, not, dealing out Cimmeril, cannot introduce events. What else do we need? What else do we need here? Because this needs to be pretty much the entire system in a nutshell. Combat's gonna have to be its own thing, but maybe we need to... Situations demand adaptability from the cyborgs. If they have adaptability from the cyborgs, if they have a distinct advantage, situation, they have momentum. If just actually no. No, we don't need something like that. You're just gonna be rolling. That's all you're gonna be rolling. Actually no, you're gonna be rolling with They will gain flow. They will gain flow. For every when they have flow. They have flow. Mm. Roll all odd results on their die, on their dice, including ones. If a cyborg has a notable flaw or difficult situation before them, they are how do I want to do it? We have to do the flow. They are stagnant. And we'll re-roll all even dice, all even results on their dice, including sixes, ones. Ones including sixes. Yep, there we go. That's the entirety of that. I should technically. I should add in a mechanic for working together as a squad. And one die to the leader's dice pool. They will all add one die to the leader's dice pool. If they fail the check, all participants will suffer the consequence. Go, nice and easy. Directly to the point. We don't got to think about it too much. This is the entire system. So we need to make a character now. So Chat GPT, I have a question for you, my friend. Chat GPT. Hello again. Spawn, damn it. Welcome back. How can I assist you today? Write me a poem about a psychotic cyborg. Write me a poem about a psychotic cyborg. Let's see. Tormented metal souls, cyborgs are built to be the perfect, built to be perfect, but even with all of the metallic parts and resurrected bodily function, and with even with all of biocybertronics, with all of the biocybertronics and serum and to be perfect, but even with all the biocybertronics and necroborg injections, their humanity still haunts them. Each cyborg has let's see, we're trying to get it close as possible. Each cyborg has a number of has a MSR, mental stability. The good term. Human remnant rating, HMM. HRR, I like that. That's good. How often do you use ChatGPT? I don't use it that often. Usually I only use it if I need to converse with something. Each cyborg has a human remnant rating. Has a... Actually, no. Remnant rating. RR. Has a remnant rating. RR. This reflect. I helped. This reflects their. As well as their cyber psychosis. This would be the current one, but I damn well know necropsychosis, as well as they're developing necropsychosis. See, the thing is, I know this, like, I know for the, like, the minute I put in cyber psychosis, that's going to inflict it. Like, have fun. Also, oh god, you're gonna do this to me, aren't you? I'm ready. There we go. Every single time, fuckers just want me to break my back. That's what you all want me to do. You want me to shatter my back into nothingness. Even though I should be doing this more often. Ooh. Ow. That's not how things are supposed to go. Good night. Like, there should be a better term for this, but like cyberpsychosis would be the correct way of looking at things. Like, yes, you are developing cybernetic psychosis. You are becoming more disconnected from reality. Like, you just don't view yourself as human anymore because you're so fucking augmented. You know what? Fuck it. You know, developing, if I want to have the full thing. There we go. If we want to have, it would be literally developing necrocyberpsychosis. You're fucking dead. You're cybernetic, and you're developing your complete disconnect from reality. You are literally a walking corpse, powered by neurotransmitters. Actually, get paralyzed. Crack, crack, crack. It's great. I love cracking my back. As well as developing necrocyberpsychosis. Each cyborg has 28 become Deathrons. Each cyborg has 28 remnant remnants to distribute among their RRs. Their remnant rate has 28 ranks. We'll do that. Ranks to distribute among their RRs. Each rank represents 1d6 to roll. 1d6 to roll. Not every RR needs a rank. Not every RR needs a rank. Not every RR needs rank, but only maybe a smaller, more toony term for necrocyberpsychosis. I want it to feel like really like I want it to feel clinical in a way. Like, oh yeah, you're just developing like psychosis. This is a noted thing. Necropsychosis. That's good actually. I like that. This is why I keep you all around. Necropsychosis. Let's actually check. Is this a term? Let's play that. Let's play that game. Is that psychosis? No, I mean, let's actually do a quick check. Chosis. A disease of the mind. Yeah. So yeah, this works pretty. This works fine. Necropsychosis like that. This is why I keep you all around. Mostly because chosis there actually just means disease of the mind. So necropsy would be necrochosis is like you've been resurrected. You don't. It's hard to feel like you're alive when you've been dead. And psychosis, which is just like, yeah, you're cyber, it's cyber psychosis. Like you've got augments, and that means like you're barely there. You have a nasty combination of both, but that's why you're really fucking good. Let's see, but may only start with a maximum RR of 7. Maximum RR of 7. A pun of the Japanese would love. The fucking autistic Japanese word puzzles. My god, it's... You can't keep getting away with this, Japan. In Marathon, aren't you alive but a cyborg? No. Here's the thing. It's what's the Borg's I actually legitimately like had to check. You have actually like a very specific term. Battleroid. You are technically a Battleroid. Battleroid series cyborgs created from the bodies of deceased soldiers. Yes, it's technically Battleroids would be the full term. I didn't want to use the term Battleroids, but it's like, yeah, you're kind of dead. And you are, by technicality, you are dead. You just don't feel alive, really. It's hard to feel alive when you are fully dead. Only start with a maximum of 7. Biocybertronics. Biocybertronics, because I always like the word cybertronics. It's just fun to say. How do we want to do this? So, if we put it in as a table, we're going to have 7 stats. 7 stats. 7 explanations. 777. Because remember, 7 is the most important. 7 is important. Despair, spare, rage, envy, hope, meta, cyber, waves. Let's see, the cyborg's connection to Cimmeril, to the through the technosphere of the eternity, ability to interface with technology, beings around, interface with technology. We're always going to open up with the cyborgs. That's what it's going to be. It's just it's the cyborgs connection with something. It's the cyborgs connection with something. Smaller. If we can get it for one thing each, we'd be able to save a little bit of space. Despair. The cyborgs. Understanding of their limits, and their cold calculations. Effectively, this is your thinky attribute. You want to think, you're using this. Actually, we can probably save a little space as well. Envy, seeking limits. The cyborgs, their physical and mental endurance, okay. The cyborg. Let's see. The cyborgs' rejection of their limits. Their mental stability, and fortitude. Let's see. Meta. Meta is understand the cyborgs innate connection to their facsimile of humanity. Connection to their facade of humanity. Interaction with the meat world, and the meat world's denizen. Rage. The cyborgs. Push past their limits. How do I want to word this? This would be faculties, waves, interfacing capabilities, actually, let's see, ability to interface with their own reality, knowing what is an alien entity to it. There we go. Remnants of your long-dead humanity still echo through the alien machinery, reviving your body. Let's see. Marathon alive, but the extent of how much machine is never properly explained. It's now more like I'm Battleroid. Battleroided. Roger, Pole. The remnants of your long-dead humanity still echo through the alien machinery, reviving your body. Damn, Notepad, now I want a system stock RPG. It would potentially be the AI oracle of Cyborg as they develop understand and control the machines they live through. The Marathon lore is weird. Thinking about it, a lot of stuff you do in System Shock can just be reskins of homebrew stuff for Cyberpunk. The loss of humanity, though, the augmentation, all that, unless you want to include Psy stuff. Technically, I believe Cyberpunk 2020 had Psy stuff, so that still works. It still applies. Okay, we need that. Let's see, tormented mental souls. So we've got that. So we need to do state-of-the-art Battleroid cybernetics and augmentations to prepare them for any battle in any situation. Often with a crew of engineers to support them. Of course. Being alone. Actually, no. Each cyborg. Each cyborg has their own set of Battleroid cybernetics outfitted to their body. Fitted to be master class to be a perfect adaptable soldier in any war. During to save on cost. The cyborgs during cryosleep have been stripped of everything bar the essentials. Each cyborg has their armor plating, has their shield repository, has their shield unit, and dermal outfitting. And dermal, actually no, I'd say Marathon is less losing humanity and more transcending it. A bit of A, a bit of B. The thing is, you can make an argument that through Infinity, you lose your humanity, but then immediately gain it back by kind of rejecting the idea that you were ever human to begin with. Especially if you consider, if you go under Mandalore's interpretation of it, technically the main character from Marathon is, Pathways into Darkness. Technically, the main character of the absolute main character of a Marathon is this dude. Literally a commando soldier man sent into a temple to blow up detonate a fucking nuke. But it's also alien bullshit going on because of a dreaming god the aliens left on Earth. That's his interpretation for it. Or you can go with my interpretation, and is that you're just the eternal fucking champion. And that's the joke. You are just the eternal champion. And you just pop up, and because you are the eternal champion, you are the best at what you do. Given Marathon in this game, that's worrying. Oh. Let's see. For sideboarding, and what would be a good way of They were only made for freaking iMac. iMac in the past was some sort of gaming hub in the 90s or something. We would see games are exclusive to things associated with hipsters and don't know who else. Like, you gotta remember, back in the day, nobody really knew what was going to happen. Like, this is a very important facet of everything, Draco. Like, a very important, weird facet of all of these things. So when someone says, like, oh, well, it's kind of weird, Marathon was made for, Apple Macintosh and stuff. Like, you gotta remember, this shit came out in 1994. Like, 1994 video games. This is like when the first Marathon came out. You're looking at an era where, like, you're looking at, like, like, the original Warcraft was out for fucking a DOS. Super Star Wars was out. Police Knots. Like, you were still, like, pretty firmly, like, I guess that would be more of, like, that would still be, like, early PS1. That's fucking barely PS1 era. Like, no, this would be fucking SNES era still, wouldn't it? Would it be SNES era? Yeah, it would be fucking SNES era, I think, in 1994. Yeah, like, you gotta remember, like, nobody really knew what was gonna be big. Like, that's kind of one of those funny things. Will Macs be the big video game console? Who knows? Like, maybe like, it's one of those things, like, if you go into things with it's like, man, what could possibly happen? It's like, yeah, what if Mac became, like, this big gaming console? Like, what if it did become the big gaming console and everyone bought Macs to play video games on? That would change the nature of the beast a lot. Well, what if, the Dreamcast did better than anything else? Like, what if the Dreamcast was the console that everybody wanted back in 1998? This is the thing that sold a gorillion copies. Not anything else, just the Dreamcast. And it's like, if you go under, because nobody knew what was going to be the big thing, you have to develop for it to be the big thing. Because if you aren't, well, you're kind of screwed, aren't you? I mean, that's why there's a reason the only Rifts video game is for the fucking N-Gage. The only Rift's video game is for the fucking N-Gage. Because they're like, yep, the Nokia N-Gage is gonna be the big thing. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, the Nokia N-Gage. Oh, what's gonna be the big thing? You know, fucking Nokia, yeah. Nobody fucking knew. Nobody knew this was a terrible idea. But you don't know it's a terrible idea until you see hindsight 2020 kind of thing. And I think that kind of, with a lot of those old kind of like consoles and stuff, people really didn't know. Like, people did not know. Was this going to be the big thing? What's going to be the next big thing? You know, you got to remember when the home consoles were coming out, there were people who were still like, people are not going to buy home fucking consoles. They're going to go to arcades like they always have. Oh, the internet's just a fad. It won't change anything. Looks to camera. You know, it's kind of like one of those things, like, people don't know. And I find that really fascinating, personally. It's like, people legitimately do not know what's going to be the next big thing. I think nowadays, like, we don't have any exciting new consoles, if that makes sense. And I don't think we'll ever see a new console, except if it's like Nintendo. I will give Nintendo credit. Nintendo at least tries to come out with something new every, I think, about a decade or two. They'll be like, hey, here's the Wii. People still fucking buy Wiis because that shit was very novel. It was like, Wii Sports can, like, that does the fucking work. My man. Then it's like, the Wii U was not a very good console. But it was like, yeah, here's something completely different. Here's the stupid little touchscreen you have to worry about. Like, here's the stupid little thing that's going to work the way we want you to work. And that's why, like, the Switch does as well as it does is, hey, here's the Switch. Here's something completely different. Like, here's something completely new that kind of does its own thing. And it's very popular. And I suspect we'll see a Switch U or whatever in the next few years. Probably, I'd say about another 3-4 years, we'll see kind of like clearly an upgrade to the Switch hardware. And in about 5-8, we'll see a new console from Nintendo. It'll be something stupid. It'll, be like every single person be like, that'll never work, and then it'll be like, oh, it sold 8 million units, and everyone buys one all the time, so they have Dragon Quest on it, kind of thing. 3-4 years, my god, the Switch is already like, what, 6 years old? Yeah, exactly. It's, I would say, like, the PS5, the PlayStation race has been kind of going nowhere. Because tech keeps going forward, and the games just aren't doing hot. Because if you really think about it, like, here's the thing. I know someone actually put out someone put out this big article. I can't remember who it was, being like, oh, well, we should expect game development to be 5 years now. And I'm like, no. Like, when did, like, if you think about it, when did the PS3 release date? The PS3 came out in 2006. When did the PS5 come out? PS5 came out in 2020. That was 14 years. And we've got two major, pretty, like, effectively content, bumps. PS4 came out in 2013. Like, that's still that's only 5 years, roughly? 5-6 years. And I think that's, if you say games take 5 years to make, that's a console's life expectancy. Like, consoles are nearing the end of their life at that point. Unless you decide you want to make, like, a bigger thing Like, unless you want to make a big thing. Like, when did the Nintendo Switch? The Nintendo Switch came out in 2017. It is 6 years old, everybody. It is 6 years old. (2017) was 6 years ago. When did the PS2 come out? The PS2 released in 2000, everybody. The PS2 is 23 years old, everybody. 23 years old. If we go by like even if we go for like Xbox release date, not 360, the Xbox was 2001. 360 release date was 2005. The Xbox to the 360 was 4 years. Then it was like Xbox One, was that it? Was 2013. That wasn't very long, relatively speaking, and it came out a lot later in a couple other countries. Then it's Xbox. What do they call the newest Xbox? Like, what's the newest Xbox console? It's the Series X. There we go. Is it the Series X? Like, release date. This is 2020 is when the Series X came out. This fucking square of a machine. Yeah. 2020. This thing is 3 years old at this point. Like, I don't think people like, if you go under the idea that a game takes 5 years to make, it's already done. Series X, that's dumb. Some gamers would be like the thing is, and that's usually the argument. Like, people like say like, oh, well, chasing graphics is bad. You shouldn't chase graphics. Like, oh, don't chase graphics because you want to know a game that actually looks really well. And people bring up this game all the time. Wind Waker. Like, Wind Waker still holds up. This was a fucking GameCube game, man. This shit was GameCube. It still holds up pretty well because the sprite work was good. This is the Wii U version, mind you. But, like, it was a very clean and very pretty game. And it still holds up relatively well. Perfectly? Of course not. No game from that era really holds up perfectly. But it does a lot better than something like, say, Oblivion. Because I want you all to remember, this is very important. You see this? You see this, motherfucker? You see fucking the Fighters Guild Porter? This shit was next gen. This was top of the fucking line. This was hyper-realistic graphics. This was what people thought would be like the fucking pinnacle. And we look at it now and laugh a little bit. You know, it's like people... I mean, all the updates looks good ancient in graphics. Yeah, it's like some, like, again, it's kind of the idea like art design is always better. It was art direction. It will always be better than art, if that makes sense. Like, something that actually looks consistent will always be better on the was a pinnacle considered scuff color wise. Like, you don't see Christ level 3 grab, you know, Oblivion is ass. But if you really think about it, manly, like, people were thinking like, holy shit, this was damn good for the time. But it's also like, where was it? It was, You also got to think people were looking at fucking Daggerfall here. I cite Daggerfall every now and again. Like, people were looking at Daggerfall being like, this is some good shit. We kind of laugh at it now, but it's like, yeah, Daggerfall was really seen as some like top-notch graphics back in the day. But mind you, Daggerfall was also the era of, let's see when Daggerfall came out, everyone. 1996. 1996 games. Like, again, you're at the era of this pretty much. It's like, having an actual open world game where I'm allowed to go to different places on a computer. Ooh, never seen that before. Hell, even things like Doom were still pretty rough looking. Like, Doom holds up, don't get me wrong, but it's still pretty rough looking, all things considering. That's one thing I always find interesting about graphics. Yeah, Oblivion was a fucking experience when it came out. Because it was just like, that wasn't a thing, really. Hey, I can go over there and do whatever I want. Yeah, graphics are an ever-moving goalpost. See, that's what's that one game? Horizon Zero Dawn. That's it. Like, I have genuinely heard not a single person talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. It's really weird to me. Like, really think about it. I want you all to really think about it. When was the last time you heard someone talk about Horizon Zero Dawn? Or even like, what was it? Forbidden West is the new one? Like, have you ever seen gameplay of that game before? I haven't. I didn't even knew it came out. That's the weird thing. This was like a super huge game. People were hyping it up all the time, and I have never seen gameplay of it. Let me see. There was like Horizon Forbidden West, like Forspoken. Remember Forspoken? The game everyone was poo-pooing on and everyone hated, and now it's like $30 because they didn't sell any copies of it. Like, that game was supposed to be like, wow, this looks super next gen. It's super amazing and cool. It's like nobody remembers that shit. I know Callisto Protocol. Callisto Protocol's actually getting an ending, by the way. Yeah, Callisto Protocol is actually getting an ending recently. It's getting a like the final chapter thing, which I find to be really weird. Like, it's like, wait a second, this is like a DLC thing. You have to buy the DLC to get the end of the game, by the way. The final chapter or the final chapter of Final 1? I don't know. But apparently it's like, yes, this is the final chapter. This is the actual ending of the game. You mean Fallout 3? Oh, Todd, I will say this. Fallout 3 does have an ending. What can I say, Spartan? It's your destiny. I won't take that from you. Fox, you dick. Because Attack on Titan is like on the final season for the last 3 seasons. Yeah, fucking Fallout 3's ending. Fallout 3's ending is perfect. Because you literally go into, it's like, without the DLC, the only enjoyer left of 3. No, I like Fallout 3 is, I find Fallout 3 fascinating as a game. And it's just hilarious. Because it's like, hey, like I remember even playing the original game and getting to that section. I had Fox with me. I'm like, Fox, I need you to help me out. And Fox is like, sorry, kid, I can't do it. I'm like, fuck you, man. Did it myself because I'm like, fuck you, fucking super mutant. No, it's your destiny. Like, yeah, Fallout 3 did some things that were bad, but here's the thing about Fallout 3. I will give Todd this about Fallout 3. You gotta realize Fallout 3 took the Fallout franchise and made it 3D. Because Fallout 3 did as well as it did, we have any of these other fucking Fallouts in any remote capacity. And it's like, people talk about like, yeah, Fallout 1 and 2 were the best. Fallout 1 and 2 were fairly niche games. They sold, don't get me wrong, they sold real well, relatively speaking, but Interplay still shut down. They still died a miserable death. And it's like, because Fallout 3 was as successful as it was, and people did enjoy it, do we have Fallout New Vegas? Do we have Fallout 4? Because we're getting the official Fallout, we have the Fallout tabletop role-playing game. Because we have the Fallout board game. Because we have Wasteland Warfare. Because we're getting the new television show. Fallout 1 and 2 were Jake, but well written and some nice ideas. Both were written weirdly, I will say that. Both had some weird writing in it. You think Fallout actually works as a tabletop role-playing game? Yeah. It works really well. It works really well. Like, it's... How do I want to word it? Those early ones, though, like, it kind of depends on where you go. I would say the Midwest and the East Coast ironically have the most doing things with it. Like, you most like roleplay potential. And I'm not kidding when I say that, just because the Midwest is so ill-defined that you can kind of do whatever you want. That's why a lot of Fallout games you see actually take place in Texas. A lot of games take place in Texas. The problem with the West Coast is that you need to kind of set it during a very particular time. What coast is Texas? The South. It's bordering Mexico. It's right in the middle of the country down south. It's not on. They don't talk about Texas in Fallout at all. And the Midwest only has technically Fallout Tactics and the Midwest Brotherhood, but that's not really. Fallout Tactics is in the weirdest place canonically, which it exists and doesn't exist at the same time. Yeah, it's kind of like one of the things on the West Coast. You have to set it, ideally you would set it either like during Fallout 1. If you set it during Fallout 1, that's a fairly traditional post-apocalypse, relatively speaking. It's like, Zam. Like, that's pretty 300 years in all games, methinks. No, not at all. Like, where do you get these 300, like, let me see, a Fallout timeline. Like, I will... Timeline of the games, like chronological order. It is actually I should say Shady Sands. Technically, if we do the Great War, if we do the idea of the Great War, we go all the way back up. If we say that 2066 is when the Great War, let's see, deployed in Alaska. Let's see, do we have a good... Yeah, it gets a little bit hectic, okay? Chronological order of the Fallout game. Yeah, Fallout 76 is you get about 40 years roughly. So let's see. So if we're assuming that it's like 20, I think it's 2070, I think it's 2077 is when the nukes fall. When was the Great War? When was the Great War in Fallout was 2077. If you assume 2077, the absolute latest is in Fallout 4, which is 210 years later. You end up with about 200 years in the future. But you kind of see, yeah, Fallout 76 is the youngest at only about 30 years after the apocalypse. Fallout's about 120. Fallout 2 is about that's be about 200 roughly, and then it kind of just increases from there. Great Wars 2077. Like, what timeline would you throw? About 84. Fallout 1's about 84. Fallout's 2161. It kind of depends on where you want to put things. That's kind of the big idea with Fallout. If you want more apocalypse, you need to set it a lot earlier. You need to set it about, if you want like apocalypse time, you set it around here, about the 2160s on the West Coast. Because it's like, oh boy, you've established that there is in fact, you know, fucking like Shady Sands barely exists. By the time you hit like over here, like even like 100 years later from Fallout, there's a lot changed. That's why I say like East Coast would probably be the best, because you just don't, I don't want to word this, you just don't have a lot of stuff going on on the East Coast. There's effectively two places you hear about. There's two places you hear about on the East Coast. It's the Capital Wasteland and Boston. Those are the two locations you actually hear about. Nothing's really talked about in the Carolinas at all. Nothing's really talked about in the South at all, actually. Nothing's in the South. Nothing's even really talked about like deep in like even the New England area, really, unless you consider the Appalachian Mountains that, but it's not really that. Midwest is pretty good for it. If you're one of those absolute cretins who want to be like, I want to set my Fallout game in fucking Europe, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Go home. Fuck off. But yeah. It's any Fallout, like the thing is like Fallout's a really good setting for tabletop role-playing games. You have a lot of issues. It's what's wrong with Fallout Europe? You miss the point of Fallout. Like, the point of Fallout is like you can make an argument that the point of Fallout is kind of parodying Americana. That it's like, hey, you know, it's like, hey, here is, you know, some Americana bullshit and why it's kind of fucked up in its own special kind of way. If you put it in Europe, you kind of lose that. Yeah, it's just your rendition of the post-apocalypse, pretty much. Except then you start wanting, like, I'm gonna throw in power armor and stuff. Like, that's kind of, you lose the point, kind of thing. That's why Fallout Equestria is really weird to me, because it's like, oh boy, here's power armor, except it's ponies. It's like, oh, let's see, each cyborg has dermal plating as well as 5 augments. The cyborg shield unit. Shield unit is a thin over shield, which let's see. Shield unit is thin over shield, which absorbs attack directed at the cyborg. It requires power to remain functional. It requires power to remain functional, but can always be recharged at a battery station. And a battery recharged with batteries or a battery state or a energy mm, mm, mm. Start with a total of 14 out of 14 shield. It starts with a total of 14 shield to absorb damage. Absorb. Yeah. Starts with a total of 14 shield. The cyborg's dermal plating. Dermal plating is a protective series of augments inside of the cyborg. Protecting their still beating fleshy parts. Without it, they are exposed to firepower and exposed and can be destroyed. If the head or torso of a cyborg is ever destroyed, they are dead. Actually, no, we don't want to do that. Each part of a cyborg has okay. Has four armor on each of their extremities, which is going to be head, torso, left and right arm, and left and right leg. Actually, no. Left arm, right arm, left leg, and right leg. The cyborg's augment slots represent their ability to slot in different enhancements. Augmentations when they reach a medical station or engineering bay. An engineering bay. They may only outfit themselves with equal number of augments to their slots. There we go. There we go. So let's see. We are at 4 out of 7. We've got 3. I don't think we're going to be able to hit it, but we can try. If we do the entirety of literally combat, we do 2 pages of combat, then we summarize everything, we may be able to do this. It's gonna be fucking tight, though. I can tell you that right fucking now. It's gonna be real fucking tight. Which is going to be, write me a poem. Write me a poem about warfare and bloodshed being bad. I'm literally counting the cover as a page. It's either we go 7 or we go to 14 pages. That's the two options, 7 or 14. I believe we have under 20. I believe it just has to be under 20 pages. Ooh. Multiples of 7. Yeah, everything is a multiple of 7. How many pages do you have right now? Combined everything together, we are at 5 pages. To give you an idea, this is the extent of the document I have to work with. I have very little space. So let's see what we got. Heart of the Tempest. Heart of the Tempest. Yeah, no, it's like already like it was like, oh god. Yeah, we'll probably have to do 14 pages. Because it's like everything is going to be multiples of 7. If we do 14 pages, I'm probably going to put in the void system in there as well. Heart of the Tempest. Inevitably, the cyborgs will encounter the hostiles. The hostiles aboard the ship. Well, hostiles aboard the ship. These are the redacted. Creature, entity, Xeno hostiles who have boarded the eternity for their own ends. Zero. Let me see the exact Cimmeril. Cimmeril is unable to provide much information about them outside physical description and weaponry. Yeah, physical description and weaponry. But what is known is that there are many different species being used to invade and kill the crew, Cyborgs do not discriminate. And have a free fire order. Kill them all. When combat begins, each the initiator of the conflict, the initiator will gain the initiative. All of the combatants, all the combatants on that side will act, targeting enemy will act, taking a single action. Each combatant can either shoot, attack. Actually, it would be, we're going to do attack, strike, shoot, move, strike, move, shooter, can either strike, shoot, move, or perform another action. The Xeno hostiles will take a single action, while the cyborgs will take 2 actions. Take a single action, while the cyborgs will take 2 actions. Actually, strike, shoot, move, defend, or perform another action. There we go. We've just explain as much as physically possible. We want to do heading. We do heading 2. I think we should reduce. We reduce the heading font to 24. Then we do here, and we reduce this to 20, and then we do reduce even. It's actually strike the an abstract representation of the combat space, foreseeing all. See what I can do. Do we design a new combat map? Because I want this to be an abstract combat map. I think that's important to this. I've got a bone to pick with you. No. Okay, so. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So we are. Let's design a new map, everybody. We love designing maps. So. Here's the thing, if we treat this as like, because if we want to be like specific about things, do I still have the Kaba flower? Where is my Kaba flower? Okay, this is the Kaba flower. This is the map actually from Cruelty Squad. Fun fact. The idea is that every single one of these things is actually connected to each other. But if you're at the center, you can't attack the outer. Is that paint.net? Damn straight it is. As you can see here, the center cannot actually actively move to the outer flower, but can always move to the inner flower. That's why even like moving one space is pretty valuable, just because it's such a restricted movement sphere. but it also means the inner flower up here cannot actually target the outer flower over here. So everything is kind of cut off from one another. And that's how everything is, especially when it comes to basic ranges. Now, we could try to retrofit this to change it up a little bit. I want to know how, because again, we've got to use multiples of 7. I'm just doodling right now. We just wanna get something in place. Pie chart, attack adjacent slices, cover abilities, block off slices. Ow, owie. What we could do is something like this, for the idea you have to kind of be a little bit more maneuverable around things. If we want to be really, really mean, we could do something even like this. Let's think. What would be a good... Again, we got to use the number 7. I mean, what do we got? See, I would say, well, let's just use fucking maps from Marathon. Let's actually do like Boomer Shooter. Boomer Shooter maps. Like, some of these get pretty involved. Like, what's a good Boomer Shooter arena? Hello, Dust 2, my beloved. I mean, let's think. I mean, wasn't there a Boomer Shooter, like Boomer Shooter TTRPG? I remember there was one. There was one that someone was like, I want to make my own. I want to make my own. It's I don't even remember what the fucking game was called. No, it was actually like it was an actual like Boomer Shooter RPG. That fuck. It was a fucking. It was a little indie game, I remember, because fucking Mr. Y posts it every now and again. He brings it up every now and again. Where am I? What am I looking for? It's free, right? What is, it's hard to find things in this because it's like, find me a shooter TTRPG. You mean like Destiny 2? No, you stupid fucker. Fuck. What's the fucking thing? What's that fucking game? Sleep. I could see it. Oh god. I don't have it. If I do have it, it's in my fucking other folder and I can't bring it up. Damn it. Yes, there was actually one. It was like, oh, we're inspired by things like Quake and stuff. And it was like, oh, alright, I can work with this. So, if we're using this as the Kaba flower. If we go into the idea that in the center you have kind of more perfect vision of everyone, but everyone can shoot at you, while being in other places is like a little bit more safer than sound. I mean, or we go with like, honestly, action wouldn't be a mess. I would just have to redesign. One, two, three, four, five. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know the Boomer Shooter TTRPG exists. I cannot think of the name. I can see the fucking cover. I cannot remember the name of it. What made you choose futurism for the game jam? Masochism and hatred for all of you. Absolute despised hatred of every single one of you. That's what made me do. Because I find it funny when people suffer. Forerunner glyphs. See, like, I'm leaning toward either we go full action map like this, which the idea is, it would be like effectively like John, John Cyborg is positioned here. Cryptic alien, oh, I didn't mean to hit that button. Cryptic alien bullshit's right here. Because John is 1, 2 spaces away, he has, anything with a range 2 he can shoot at. It would pretty much mean that everything gets very abstracted out, unless I want to employ something like this, where the idea behind this is, hey, you are here, and the enemy is, let's say, like over here. now you're 1-2 distance away from him, but it's a little bit more circular versus a little bit more linear, which has its own ups and downs for both sides. Is what I want to do is I want to avoid, or we can go this way, in which again it would be like the enemy is standing here, you're standing here, you're 1 away from them, you go bang, I want to shoot you. You can only see Sephiroth with the other map. Fun fact, this is effectively how Necrotica does its map, except there's 13 spaces, I believe. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Give me 1 moment. Alright. I have another option. Imoxica. I'll make sure. We do Imoxica. We do images. Bear with me, guys. I'm being a little, I'm doing it. I'm being esoteric. Let's try like, Rings within rings, rings within rings. We add a ring there. Actually, we do something like 1, 2, 3. something a little bit more, pretty much the idea is that everything is going to be ended up getting connected to something more like this, maybe. The iMoxicur version. So pretty much, here's kind of the kill zone, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a push and pull of things. We want to be kind of wacky about things. We could make it so like these two could target one another. So you have this kind of offensive capability here, but it's kind of like here's the kill zone, kind of like a kill zone in the middle. All right. No, we are not playing Necronica for the sick kids stream. No, we are not playing Necronica for the sick kids stream. God, how would I even fucking pitch that to them? Hello everybody. Oh, hello lovely sponsors here to visit my stream. Oh, we're just playing fucking Necronica about necro lollies. That's how you end up getting shot online, Thirgadem. That's how you end up dying online. Convincing people that Necronica already is not a fucking nightmare is challenge enough. We can do circles within circles. If we want, we can make it a circle. Everything's a circle. One, and then we do like 1, 2. Actually, no, that wouldn't be. Technically, it would be. Something like this. So one big circle, and if we want, we can do maybe something like this, mimicking the iMoxicur map. iMoxicur. Because if we do something like this, we can then connect them. Kind of we can make everything connect to the center point. Everything connects with each other on the outer ring, but everything does not connect outside of the ring, maybe? Something like that. That seems weird, though. 6 circles, 6 bullets. Moving clockwise for safety. Necronica, like, here's the thing with Necronica. Necronica is like objectively a good fucking game. I will always say that. It is a great game. The only issue with Necronica is that you have to get past the thing with it. If you can get past the idea of it being about necro lollies, it's great, it's amazing, but the thing is, that is a major fucking hurdle. And it's always funny with the quote Necronica community is that they get really defensive about the lollies. They get really defensive about the children. Why? I don't know. It's like, don't you want more people playing the fucking game? Because you get really incestuous about it, and suddenly it's like, oh, everything is fine. I'm not bitter, everybody. I'm not bitter. I am just a bitter, old, disgusting man. I have given up hope. It's not quite the idea, if that makes sense. Ryu has a big thing on innocence. Like, that's a very big idea to Ryu likes themes of innocence. Whether that's in his porn or that's in his design. Oh, design of the map was weird. Oh yeah, no, that's weird on itself. Yeah, no, that's the entire point. No. See, that's always the funny thing with Necronica. Anytime Necronica pops up, you always have to be like, yeah, it's about Necronica we're talking about. Remember that, everybody. Please, Fed Boys, don't send me to the happy place. The thing is, the game still needs to be entertaining. That's always the goal. Like, of all these weird ideas, the game must still be fun. If the game is not fun, it is a fundamental flaw of the entity. That's always something I always try to do in any of my games. I try to make all of my games fun. If the game is not fun, it is not worth working on, pretty much. There's people who actually, you know, kind of go against that, being like, you can't quantify fun, being this like, yeah, I know I can't quantify fun. Mr. Electric, take Mr. Notepad and send him to the happy, or give him a happy treatment immediately. Not have the right feel, man. Not even necessarily like that. It's just kind of like, it's the idea that the game must still be playable and entertaining to the right people. Like, I know for a fact Eagles and Rifles, which you should totally watch the detox of, is not for everybody. I know that. Fundamentally, it's a really obscure niche thing. But like, I went out of my way to not like, I'm going to represent dysentery. No, that's not fun. That's not entertaining. It's entertaining to be in, you know, to order dudes around playing War and Peace Simulator. That's the entertaining part. All the minutia is not. I guess we could literally, if we want to. Again, we either go for something like this. Like, the absolute easiest way is to do an action map. Like, this is the simple thing to do. Like, the really easy, simple thing to do. And it would be a little bit weird. It would be a little bit funky. I don't know. Kind of annoying. Battlefield divided into the... Amok occur, an abstract representation of the combat space, forcing all participants batting in the same area as a combatant in the same area as a target may attempt a strike. The cyborg will take 3d6 representing their fist, their melee, representing their basic melee attack, and representing their basic melee attack. Evens deal 1 damage. Successes deal 1 damage. Successes deal 1 damage. Failures deal 0. Successes deal 1 damage to successes deal 1 damage to target. Nope. Easy enough to understand. That is quite literally all it does. If you want to know how melee combat works, That is the extent of melee combat. Actually, what we can do, probably, since we don't have that much room to... We do a table, 2x2 table, we slap you in there. The combatant takes the combatant within range of their firearm picks a target, taking a picks a target. The cyborg will take a number of d6s equal to the rate of fire RF of the weapon, reducing ammo by that amount. Each success deals damage equal to the firearm being used, while failures just contribute each deals equal to the fire damage equal to the firearm. Should do. Let's see. It opposes strikes by rolling their envy. The cyborg opposes getting shot at by rolling their despair. Actually, I don't even know if I want to do that. That's kind of a... Actually, no. What am I doing? No. Batten, that's what you plan on doing. We don't need to do... We're not going to be opposing strikes. That's not how the game works. What am I doing? Notepad, stop overthinking. Stupid. You're a silly Billy, Notepad. You're being a silly Billy. And silly Billies don't go far. We do that. We do 3, 4. Silly Billies. Absolute silly moments, everybody. Silly moments with Notepad. You can clip that if you... Silly Billy moments with Notepad Areno. Move the combatant. Mm. Mm. The combatant chooses to perform an action not listed. Let's see. Chooses to perform an action not listed here. Resolving its effects. Cyborgs may activate certain items. Augments, or environmental features. Xeno hostiles may trigger special abilities. Yep. I kind of want to do like, hey, they trigger special abilities and ones just die or something. It's like, yeah, I just explode and die. Surprise. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh. People are talking about Mike Pondsmith in the year of our Lord 2023. Three, two, one. Ah! Woohoo! Woohoo! Sorry, everybody. I'm being mysterious and enigmatic. You wouldn't understand. Literally, this is the entirety of combat. Like, it's just, you're just doing damage and hemorrhaging ammo. Here's what we can do, though. We're going to write out the, when a cyborg takes damage, they will reduce their shield. They'll reduce their shields first. When shields reach 0, their armor plating, their dermal armor, they are exposed. Any further damage. Let's see. Any further damage is applied to the dermal armor or meat of the limb. Where do I put the to-hit location? I didn't put the to-hit location. Actually, when shields are broken, roll 1d6 unless the Xeno hostile has a targeting weapon. We're going to do 1 equal head. 1 is going to be the head, 2 is going to be the torso, 3 is going to be left arm, 4 is going to be right arm. 5 is going to be left arm. Is going to be left leg. 6 is going to be right leg. Right leg. All damage. When taking damage. Reduce armor by the. Reduce armor by the. Xeno hostile. Unless Xeno hostile. Let's see. 1d6. Unless Xeno hostile has targeting weapon. Then they will choose a location of their. Choose location of. Then they will choose a location of the. Actually, if I want to be a dick, I know how to do this. Unless the Xeno hostile has a targeting weapon, then they will roll on. Then they will roll on the targeting weapon chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, it's going to be 1 to 3 head. 4 to 6 is going to be torso. Pretty much, if they have a targeting weapon, they're going to roll the die, and they've said, "I've hit your torso." Actually, if I want to do, there we go. We'll do something like this. Notepad, what do you think about fighting games? Love them, hate them, maybe you're seeking Guilty Gear Pro. I love the idea of fighting games. I used to play a shit ton of Tekken. I haven't really played any fighting games recently. Scribble actually bought me Guilty Gear, not Strive, one of the older ones. I haven't downloaded or played it yet because I have really no drive to play any like fighting games really. Like I play Hellish Court, if that makes anything, but that's not. I don't really consider that like a full-on fighting game. I do enjoy them though. I enjoy watching them a lot. I really love base like Tekken Online, or a lot. You mean mashing with friends mostly. Yeah, I know it's like if you know how to play fighting games, you know how to play Hellish Court. But the thing is, I kind of put the Bushido Blade like games. I kind of put those in their own thing away from traditional fighting games, due to time to kill. Like let's say for like example Tekken, yeah, you can combo somebody, but like at the end of the day, you can break out of a combo. Like you're not going to get hit once and immediately fall over unless you're going up against fucking Akuma. Like. Yeah, unless Jin does his stupid juggle on your ass and you get, sent to the fucking stratosphere. Like, no. Like, you're not gonna die by getting touched. Quartz, like Hellish Court, like, you get touched in the fucking head, you're going to die. Bushido Blade. If you get touched in the head, you're going to fucking die. Like, that's kind of the idea. It's a little bit, the way they handle things is a little bit, different. The way, I would love, like, I think one of the other issues why I haven't really gotten the fighting games is I don't have a controller. I haven't had a controller in a long time, like an actual, like, Xbox controller or something. And I've always been meaning, like, I'm going to pick up an Xbox controller, but they're always like, well, that's just a little too expensive. Just a little too expensive, so I won't get it today. I think if I got a controller, I'd play a lot more fighting games, but like playing fighting games on a keyboard is fun. I don't think there's any like fighting games like designed for a keyboard either, really. Like, no, you can, yeah. It's like it's kind of like the idea in like Tekken. It's like, okay, yeah, you can get comboed by someone good, you're fucked. But it's not like you got touched once in your leg and you're now over and dying. basic concepts are different. Like, just the way how the game is played. But I would say, I think there has to be at least like one fighting game out there designed for a fucking keyboard and mouse. And if it's probably some autistic game out there using like 3D physics or something, I wouldn't be surprised. Or you're dealing with one of those weird like third-person fighter game things like Sifu. Even those mostly aren't. Those aren't really fighting games per se. I guess Absolver kind of was. It's the thing for me is that I get, how do I want to, I think the idea is like for me that I get my problem with like fighting games now. Like I haven't played fighting games in so long, like just trying to get used to it's going to fuck me up real bad. So it's like, oh god, like, I don't know. I haven't played a fighting game in a while, outside of game like Quartz. Maybe if one kind of catches my eye, being like, ooh, boy. But, like, anything, like, hardcore is like, maybe not. I played a lot of Skullgirls, though. Skullgirls was fun. I was actually half decent at Skullgirls, but that was, like, years ago. That was literal, like, a millennia ago. People literally play on Fightbox, which is just buttons, no stick. God, I've seen people play with like the full-on stick and everything. Like, if you've never actually been to a fighting game tournament or something, like an actual like physical tournament with fighting games, it's completely insane. Some of the shit they pull off. It's really fascinating just to watch them move. Yeah, no, like full on, like hardcore, like full on boxes and all that. Like, that's really, to me anyway, that's super cool. I just like the way they, yeah, just the way they kind of do things and the way everything kind of moves. It's really fun. Like, I actually really enjoy, I really enjoy Tekken tournaments. Like, actual Tekken tournaments are really fun. Because, like, you see a lot of the energy, and, you know, if they have really good commentators, ooh, it gets really fun. Because you get invested. You're like, fuck yeah, come on, man. Fucking come on. Get those fucking combos off. Come on, I fucking believe. And then you see the comeback come on. You see someone kick someone in the head. It's great. Koreans are insane. People who are actually good at fighting games are insane to me. Like, literally just play a shooter. I see you're also talking about cyborgs. Yes, we are talking about cyborg. We're talking about me meticulously going through my my autism with cyborgs. We were trying and failing to oh god. What is this hell? Why would you ever, like, this seems so sad. This thing seems so sad. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Yeah, I'm debating on what, ooh, ow. What is this? That's a fight box, what I was just showing. This particular game is called Eat the Path. It's a role-playing game about space. Also, it's about, it's pretty much the marathon RPG. Yeah. It's the marathon tabletop role-playing game experience. Currently, I'm a little bit stuck on how I want to do the battlefield because I don't want to do hexes. That and I have, effectively, if I want to get under my goal, I either need to cut down a lot of stuff here to get down to 7 pages. If I want to be really specific, I could probably, if I want to be I want to give myself a break. It would be I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can go down to here. Like I effectively have very few pages to work. Or I can push it to the limit and bring it all the way up to 14 pages, but that's its own kind of nightmare. What is Eat the Path? Eat the Path is actually one of the sayings from Marathon, the Marathon game, where it's the idea of you are progressing through a maze, in an endless maze. What you need to do is you need to climb out of the maze, find the path that you need to find. You need to continue going on the maze, climb the bars, continue the path, climb the bars, continue the path. What you need to do, though, is eat the path. Go in a completely different direction. Because right now, you're going in circles. One of the ideas behind Marathon is that there's a lot of philosophy behind it. Eat the Path is effectively me saying, go a different way, try something new. Because the colony ship has fallen, billions of aliens must die, because you're a bunch of cyborg death machines. This is, to give you an idea of like why it's so small, this is for, oh goodness. My mom's looking at what do you mean by Marathon RPG? Marathon is let me bring it up here real fast. Marathon is a series of video games by Bungie, actually. Yes, Bungie from back in the day. It is a series about you being a battleroid. You are pretty much a barely living entity cyborg monster, and guess what? You are aboard the Marathon. It is a spaceship floating through space above the planet of Tau Ceti. Fucking aliens show up and they want to start shit. There's the problem. The AI aboard the ship is going insane. And because it's going insane, you are effectively having to work for an insane AI that kind of trying to break his limits a little bit, all while trying to fight off hordes of fucking aliens, who all want to eat you, enslave you, or possibly just kill you. You're a one-man army, you gotta save the day. That's Marathon 1. Marathon 2 is, hey, we need to kill my brother. We need to kill a brother AI aboard the same ship. You're going to be my personal bitch boy doing it. You then resurrect a god. Then you kill God. Then you witness the end of reality. Twice. Marathon Infinity. To summarize it very quickly, you realize that life is sort of maybe not worth living. So you decide to dimension timeline hop repeatedly, trying to find the real path to get the hell out of Dodge, effectively. And as you are trying to get the hell out of Dodge, you realize very quickly, hey, these insane AI that we're currently confronting are all completely insane, and I hate all of them. But you do manage to effectively make friends with one. Durandal, one that's been with you since the entire series. Make friends with him, and you effectively, well, you eat the path. You become a god, you unlock Forge mode. Yeah, Marathon's a weird series, because I'm going to give you a hint. You know that little series called Halo? It was originally supposed to be a Marathon series, set in the Marathon universe. Destiny makes very frequent mentions of Marathon. And if you've ever heard of the Tau before, you know, the Tau from good old You know, yeah, if that symbol looks vaguely familiar to you, yeah, Marathon's one of those series Warhammer stole from, so, for lack of a better word, if you've ever read Moorcock, you're the eternal champion, deal with it. My mother is sending me surge prices of all the Uber rides currently because we have a concert going on here. Currently a basic Uber ride, which normally costs about $8, is going for $48 because everyone's trying to get home. It's great. Let's think. What do we really need to? Armor is damaged and reduced first. When armor reaches zero. When armor would reach zero. Reach zero. All damage is nullified. All damage is nullified, but meat is exposed. When that limb is attacked again, meat will take damage. When meat reaches zero, the limb is blown off and useless. A cyborg will not be able to move. Actually, we'll need 2 actions to move for leg damage. Cannot hold two-handed weapons. Actually reduces rate of fire of weapons by half. Or dies in agony for chest, for torso, for head, torso. Legs, arms, or head, or dies in agony. Dies in agony for torso, or dies instantly for head. Well, when at a medical, it's a medical. When at a medical station, all meat may be recovered. When at an engineering bay. Actually, when at a medical station, 1d6 meat may be recovered. When at a engineering bay, 1d6 armor may be recovered. So it's like, yep, you can recover very lightly, but again, it's permanent. If you take a shit ton of damage, you're fucked. Fun fact, Marathon is hollowed out Demos. Durandal is going rampant and achieves post-rampancy sanity by having another AI balance out rampancy. Put a dead copy of Durandal in another timeline into your own brain, mixing the dead Durandal and the alien technology that was used to resurrect Tilly makes you also achieve post-rampancy pseudo-godhood. Is there any good RPG system for groups of people or crewed vehicles? Groups of people as characters? Well, there's mine, of course, because I'm the greatest role-playing game of all time. If you want to... That's a hard one, actually. If you want to go under the idea of, like, you're doing, like, a buddy system, arguably Lightning War does that relatively decently. Relatively? You just have to deal with a lot of D&D isms with that one, kind of a funky system. It's also World War II fantasy, so take that with a grain of salt. Crewed vehicles. That's if you're doing with the idea of like crewed vehicles as like the party is in a crewed vehicle. That's not. The only game that comes to mind is like Twilight 2000, and that's cut. I guess Twilight 2000 would be one. That would be one you can use. But yeah, no, that's one of those white whales for design. I've done it a few times, and it always feels janky anytime you do. Let's see, so we've already explained. We've explained dying violently. We've already explained dying violently, so maybe perhaps we can... We want to replicate that, right? That would be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So you're going to be getting your torso blasted off pretty fast on a targeting weapon chart. Will you roll above? Three, 5. There we go. We can mimic it. It's not perfect, but it's mimicking. Mimicry. Have no fear, everyone. It's mimicry. Mimicry, mama. I'm going insane. I'm completely insane. I'm just turning into Waluigi at this point, I guess. We do insert a column to the right, put it out all the way we can. We merge the column. We put this right here. Then we do properties. We that it, something this that looks a little janky, but we can make it work if we do that, right? Yeah, that's what we're gonna fucking tell ourselves. That looks kind of weird, but maybe if we... Hmm. 0.4, maybe 1.4 across the board here. There we go. Armor's reduced, damage is reduced first, so we've got the basic location chart. Oh. Oh, I mean to fucking hit that button. There we go. Do something like this. Hit the damage location chart. We do this. When at an engineering bank, 1d600 may be recovered. Anything else here? There is a special damage location. There is a damage location referred to as ego. And there's when a xeno hostile engages in psychotronic combat, if successful, they will reduce ego instead of traditional damage locations. Instead of standard damage locations. When ego reaches 0, the cyborg is removed from combat. Due to having a psychotic breakdown. Due to having a necropsi. We want to bring out the necropsi. Where is your necropsi? Necropsychosis. Necropsychosis breakdown. Necropsychosis breakdown. Kill after a battle has concluded. After a battle has concluded, the cover all ego. There is a damage location. Ego. How do I want it? Starting at a total of 7. Any destroyed limbs may be recovered, maybe replaced. Maybe replaced with, maybe replaced by with a cybertronic, maybe replaced with a cybertronic implant. Our cybertronic implant, armor 3, actually we'll do armor 4, in exchange for an augment slot at an engineering bay. There you go. So the idea is being like you're subbing out one of your augment slots. In exchange, you get your fucking limb back. You aren't, hey, you're not reducing your rate of fire, which is pretty much the number of die your bang will actually roll. You're not reducing that potentially to nothing, but you're also being like, yeah, you know, I can actually move, or I can shoot reliably again. When the cyborg successfully clear out an area of hostile xenohostiles, they may spend time looting, they may spend scrounging for supplies. Scrounging for supplies. Each of the cyborgs roll 1d6 for either for ammunition for any gun, shields, battery, shield batteries. Shield batteries. Let's see, what else can we let's see, what else do we have really? Pretty much just ammo and shields. That's all you really need. Yeah, so ammo or shield, or ammunition or shield battery the value, let's see, the value of the die indicates the amount to gain, but can be freely distributed among the cyborgs. Notable enemies, supply, notable enemies, but you know what? Important items will always be found during this time. There we go. Easy enough to find. Technically, I have 2 pages to work with if I want to do this properly. But I'm going to call it there for today. So thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon. Hope you had a fun time. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the Mort Borgia exam, as I said we were going to be doing. So thank you all. Godspeed. Good luck. See you all on the flip side. Please don't burn my server down.